Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I'm so grateful for your continued support to this channel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Before we continue, vile huwa tunafanya, hakikisha umelike the video. When you like the video, you automatically support the work that I'm doing in this channel, because sometimes you watch and you forget liking the video. So this is just a reminder. As you watch, ensure you like the video. Thank you so much for that like. Now, today, kumbuka, during the state burial of Raila Odinga pale NYAYO Stadium, we had several presidents who attended the funeral. And we had several representatives who represented some African presidents, like Yoweri Museveni was represented by Vice President. Samia Suluhu of Tanzania, represented by Vice President. The President of Rwanda, represented by the Vice President. But we had the President of Somalia, Ethiopia, and some countries in Africa. But something that shocked me is that this African president, even one person who represents Africa, these African presidents who attended the state burial, was not given even to speak, was not given even a chance to eulogize Raila Amolo Odinga as someone whom they do understand and they know. I mean, today kulikuwa na time ya kupea hao viongozi pia waongee. What happened? They were denied not to speak. I've not seen any. Of course, I expected that the head of state, through their MC, Master of Ceremony, Kithure Kindiki, they were to invite even one African president who was to represent others, or even they could have been given even two. Ama wangesema, wale African presidents wako hapa in person, they must eulogize Raila Amolo Odinga. And the representative who represents their presidents, like vice presidents, ministers, they could have been given even one person to represent those who are not there. Again, on the same note, have you realized that East African presidents boycotted William Ruto's invitation? Let us start with Samia Suluhu, the president of Tanzania. She sent her vice president. Let us go to Uganda. Yoweri Museveni was a good friend of Raila Amolo Odinga. What happened? He sent his vice president. Paul Kagame of Rwanda is a good friend of Raila. A state burial, invited. Then he's sending his vice president. We had people like the president of Congo, Tshisekedi, cannot come to Kenya because of this agreement in between William Ruto and him. Some East African presidents never even sent their, of course, representatives. We are being told that this African president, they are in anger with William Ruto. He's a man who is not even trusted with these individuals. You want to tell me today, hapa Yoweri Museveni angekosa kukuja state burial ya rafiki yake Raila Amolo Odinga. Samia Suluhu, mwenye msichana yake about 2 months ago, alivisit Raila Amolo Odinga, hawezi kuja in person. The same to Paul Kagame. The same to a good friend of Raila Amolo Odinga, the president of Congo, Tshisekedi. And that shows how some invitations were not honored. No representatives, nor the president himself. But other countries like Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda, they sent their representatives. But people like, for example, the president of Somalia came. You know the relationship that the president of Somali is having with William Ruto. The same to Ethiopia. You know the relationship they are having. Even about, is it 1 month ago? William Ruto was in Ethiopia. You saw also William Ruto, of course, having good friendship with the president of Somali. So William Ruto has been left hanging. As any business that connects with anything about Kenya, these African presidents, they are feeling like they cannot be part of the so-called William Ruto's invitation. And it is so embarrassing that William Ruto brags he invited these African presidents and their, of course, some representatives of these countries. They cannot even eulogize Raila Amolo Odinga. It is just him and Uhuru Kenyatta who spoke. Ni nini walikuwa na rush? Kulikuwa na time. I think for me kulikuwa na time. Hao wangepewa time waongee. By the way, wangepewa time waongee. And of course, if this is the trend that is going to continue in East Africa and Africa at large, William Ruto's goose are cooked. Najua kuna wengine hawatasikia hiyo. If this is how these African presidents are going to feel, that William Ruto is not someone who is important to them, William Ruto's goose are cooked. Live and direct. But you will not believe this. You will not believe this. Ati hao wamekuja wanarudi wajaongea. Kuna watu kama for example Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka, the former vice president. The former vice president cannot speak. Yani sometimes I look at William Ruto and his Kindiki. And the way the state burial was organized today, the visitors were to be given time to speak. The time was there. By the way, the time was there. Wangeendelea mpaka kitu saa 7 ama saa 8. Na wananchi wachukue saa 8 mpaka hata saa 12. We view the body of Raila. As simple as that. But at the moment you are denying this African president not to speak, you show how curious you are. How evil you are. You cannot tell them to come, then not even a single word. Just mentioning their name. It is not funny. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? For more updates, ensure you subscribe to this channel. You like, you comment, and you share. Bye bye till we meet in another video.